Good morning, my name's Stephen and I'm part of the Clarence Centre site at Emmanuel. Wonderful to be with you today as we continue to look at the Lord's Word together. And I've been given Psalm 40 and I love Psalm 40. It's probably one of my favourite Psalms. So when I think of it, I immediately think of the sticky mud that God's rescued us out of and planted our feet upon the rock. That's the kind of famous phrase from this particular psalm. But we're not looking at that famous phrase because those verses, they were stolen by Kate Ball yesterday. So go back and listen again to her. She does a great job of unpacking them for us, doing Psalm 41 to 10. We're instead looking at verses 11 to 17, but I've not been robbed really because they also are full of great truth, wonderful gospel truth, and a wonderful encouragement for us to look at today together. So let's get into it together. I'm going to read a couple of verses and then just draw out a few phrases for you. So verse 11 and 12 say this: "As for you, O Lord, you will not restrain your mercy from me. Your steadfast love and your faithfulness will ever preserve me. For evils have encompassed me beyond number. My iniquities have overtaken me, and I cannot see. They are more than the hairs of my head. My heart fails me." Here, David starts by saying, as for you. He's just come back off the back of saying some of the things he's doing and do for God, some of his commitments to celebrating God's righteousness and being faithful to God. But he said, but as for you, Lord, you're a whole nother level. Your mercies, you never restrain them. And I don't know about you, but I'm aware that my resources run out pretty quickly, whatever that may be. That might be financial, material, that may be resources of love and patience. They're pretty exhaustible quite quickly sometimes, particularly if I've not been sleeping very well. But God's resources, they are inexhaustible, including his mercy. It says he never restrains his mercy, which is very encouraging because sometimes it's a thing you think, have I messed up too many times now, God? Have I exhausted your mercy and your grace and your love towards me? And God's firm rebuke to that is no, you cannot exhaust my mercy. I love it elsewhere in the scriptures. It says, my mercies are new every morning. Great is my faithfulness. That sense of God's mercies to us. They're new every morning. Wiped clean. And a sense for us to freshly enjoy them. I went skiing. I've been skiing a couple of times the last few years. And I love that you wake up some mornings and there's been a fresh powder overnight. And every footprint, every track is gone. It's just fresh and blanket of snow. That's God's fresh mercy for you every morning, every day. No matter what's happened before, when you come and repent and you ask for forgiveness, it's there for you. That's true today. Are you aware of your sin? Like David is here. So as he goes on to talk about how he's feeling about his sin, he says this: evils are everywhere. So outside external pressures on him, but also sin inside my heart. My iniquities have overtaken me and I cannot see. They're more than the hairs of my head. My heart fails me. Have you ever felt like that? Have you ever prayed that? I'm in a kind of regular pattern of journaling. Often helps me to slow down, consider where my life is at, consider some of God's truth to me. And over the years, there's been some dark days where I'm just so aware of the fallenness of my own nature and my weakness and my sin and my iniquity. And I can really relate to what David's saying here. There's been moments which felt pretty dark. Maybe that's where you are, or maybe just knowing some of that. And David just brings all that before God. And in verse 13 says, "Be pleased, O Lord, to deliver me. O Lord, make haste to help me." And David's not pleading that, hoping that God might answer that. He's stating that knowing that God is a God who helps. He's just come out of the other half of the psalm that Kate looked at, where he said, God, you lifted me out of that miry clay. He's kind of saying, well, I kind of feel like I'm there again, but God, rescue me. Make haste. Come to me quickly. Sometimes it doesn't feel like God's as imminent and as close as we'd like. But we can definitely ask him, say, God, you see the mess I'm in. Please come and help me. It's you that I am looking to. He goes on for a few verses then saying, God, those who are coming against me, some of those external forces, maybe you're feeling some difficulty from elsewhere. He's saying, don't let those things overtake me. Thwarts other people's kind of evil intentions towards me. Or maybe even just where your circumstances, where they seem to overtake me. Just don't let them. Hold them at bay. It says in verse 15, let those be appalled because of their shame, who say to me, aha, aha. And I can't help, as I read this, have a little chuckle. It makes me think of Alan Partridge and Steve Coogan. It says, aha! I don't think it's that. But sometimes it feels like not only are circumstances or people coming against us, but almost that they're glorying in it. And it's saying, no, don't let them glory in that. Instead, vindicate me. I'm your son. I'm your daughter. Let me flourish even when things are tough. Ends the psalm by saying this, but may all who seek you rejoice and be glad in you. May those who love your salvation say continually, great is the Lord. There's nothing you are facing today, nothing that I'm facing today or in my life in this season, that I can't still say, great are you, Lord. Sometimes I need to choose to say it and kind of let my body and my emotions, my mind catch up with it. But I know it's true that God is great, greatly to be praised, great in his salvation, great in his ability to rescue me and you, great in his mercy towards us that is inexhaustible. The last line says this, you are my help and my deliverer. Again, do not delay, oh my God. Let's not delay in bringing our request to God, whether that is for forgiveness, whether that's for help in difficult circumstances. Let's keep seeking him together with the great words of King David. Thanks again. See you again soon.